Hey everybody, and welcome to Front Porch Comedy. I'm your host, Scott Castellanos. Remember to keep that content coming out there, comedians. Keep pushing out that material. Just because we're quarantined doesn't mean we have to stop working stuff out, right? Let's keep pushing that funny out there. And remember to use the hashtag can't stop comedy. All right, well, I'm going to give you guys a little explanation before I get into my shout outs tonight. You see, I got a notebook in my hand. I just happened to be going through some old stuff and found my first comedy notebook. You see it's amply labeled jokes, very original, right? Anyways, so with that being said, I figured, hey, I'm gonna work out some old material, see if I can revive it, things that weren't working because I was definitely a little bit more green back in the day. I thought, hey, let me see if it can work. And that kind of led me to my shout outs tonight. I started my comedy somewhere very close to my house in Edison Park, a place called the Whip Theater. And it was a great place to go work stuff out. It was a good theater, it was a good comedy club, and introduced me to the comedy community. Unfortunately, that comedy club is no longer with us, but there are some folks from that comedy club that I still see on a regular basis, semi-regular basis. And a comedy, stand-up comedy production company came out of that called Chicago's Finest Stand-Up. I'll tag all this stuff in my shout-outs in the posts. But from Chicago's Finest Stand-Up are a couple comedians, Andrew Burcastro and Oscar Carvajal, that they were working out at the Whip when I was there back then. They've been there way before I was. And they were always great to work with. But I wanted to give a special little shout out to a comedian named Scott Druick. He's a local guy. He hosted an open mic in Edison Park after the Whip at the Mecca, if anybody remembers the Mecca Supper Club as well. But he's always been very supportive, gave me lots of feedback, gave me extra time when I wanted some extra time, and he's always just been a great friend, a great comedy friend to just sit around and shoot the shit with. So without further ado, you guys are gonna see me referring to some of these notes because this is some really old material. But so just let's see if it works out tonight, guys. And without further ado, here's the old stuff. Hey everybody, I am Scott Castellanos, or you may know me the same way as most audiences do. Who? That's right. I think I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself and get started. I'm married. I have 2 kids. Work in one of the sexiest industries of all, insurance. That's right. And I know what you guys are thinking. This guy sounds too good to be true. There's got to be something wrong with him. And you guys are trying to figure it out. And some of you are probably thinking something like, this guy looks like a premature ejaculator or something. Well, joke's on you. I'm impotent. No ejaculation whatsoever. I'm just kidding, guys. I actually think I'm pretty good at sex. My wife definitely doesn't have any complaints, at least none that I've heard. I can tell you once we're done, you can hear her thanking God immediately afterwards. So I'm taking that as a good sign, huh? And I know what you're saying. You're saying, Scott, that's pretty anecdotal. That's not, you're just telling us something that your wife says afterwards, and we need something quantifiable. Well, I'm going to tell you, here's something quantifiable for you. I am so good at sex, I get it done in 3 minutes. 3 minutes flat. That's right, guys. Not to brag, but I think if I really focus, by summer, I can get that time down to 2:30. All right, guys, let's make that happen. Not easy to keep things spicy when you've been married as long as I have. We've been been together for about 20 years, a little bit more. Not easy to keep things spicy. You got to do things a little bit differently. As my wife says, you got to think outside the box. I mostly think that's because she won't let me in the box anymore. Huh? Anyways, but we've tried different things over the years, different positions, role playing, and yeah, we've tried dirty talk. And dirty talk is something that's been a little bit interesting in our journey so far. Not because it's been that hot necessarily, but I hate to say something bad about my wife, but you know what? Not the best at dirty talk. Lots of ahs, awkward questions in there. But we kept at it. She's not a quitter. She kept it coming, and then one day, bing, it hit. Something worked. She invented this imaginary third person. I don't know, we'll call her Jane Doe for this story, right? All of a sudden it was, I'm doing this, Jane Doe's doing that. It was super hot, guys, super hot. But then I started noticing as she was doing it more and more, she was delegating all the really raunchy, nasty stuff to Jane Doe. It was, Jane Doe wants to lick your balls. Jane Doe wants it up the butt. You know, stuff like that. Then it really started getting weird for me. It was, Scott, Jane Doe wants you to go downstairs and please yourself tonight. Jane Doe wants you to do the laundry. Jane Doe wants you to iron the clothes. Jane Doe wants you to clean the bathroom. Well, needless to say, I broke up with Jane Doe and she had to move on, and we're back to a regular twosome and back to figuring out a new way to think outside the box. That's my time tonight, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, hopefully we'll work this out a little bit more. We'll loop back around and tighten that up, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks again, guys. Remember, #Can'tStopComedy. All you comedians out there, if you want to send me a clip, I'll be happy to post you one night. I'll put it on my Instagram TV channel, or I'll put it on my YouTube channel as an episode, or just do it on your own and use the #Can'tStopComedy. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night.